For example, somebody can just come and say, the Lord has told me that you are my wife. The Lord has, and most people that really don't have a relationship with God they have this reference for that, the Lord said.
Yeah.
And you will be surprised at the most unthinkable things that people have done because somebody told them the Lord has. So how do we cop that in the church of God?
Remember, saying all this God says.
God said, yeah, exactly. You know? So I want to paint the picture so that you can be able to have an idea of this next question that I want to ask. So if I want something to be done fast in this church, and probably I want to speak to AY to do something, to carry out an assignment for me, I will call your name. I say, AY, Pastor Lanre asked you to do this, even though you have not gave that order. But because I have used your name, there is an honor that comes with your name that will make AY do the job. Now, bringing it to the church, a lot of pastors name lift God. Example, not just pastors, I'm talking about ministers and Christians. Okay. For example, somebody can just come and say, the Lord has told me that you are my wife. The Lord has, and most people that really don't have a relationship with God they have this reference for that, the Lord said.
Yeah.
And you will be surprised at the most unthinkable things that people have done because somebody told them the Lord has. So how do we cop that in the church of God?
Remember, saying all this God says.
God said, yeah, exactly, sir.
And all that. You remember a friend of mine, you're supposed to be friends now. Why didn't you tell your friend that this thing he's doing is not good? If a man says God says, who am I to say God did not say? And that's the way he will excuse himself instead of really telling someone the truth, like the Bible asks us to do. So I know the power of this so-called God said and what it has caused in a lot of, you said it yourself that some people, either because they have not yet been properly schooled, they don't have proper teaching, and all. They just take this God said, hook, line, and sinker, and at times just run off on a tangent, at times do the wrongest of things in the world, just because they have had. You said it, that's amazing what people have done with it and how it has ruined lives and this and that. Yeah. So the beginning of the solution is proper Christian education for people to be taught, what it's supposed to be, and this is what the Bible teaches and all that. Just like you said, somebody made a statement to me and I'm like, no, I totally disagree, as in 100% disagree. And he was surprised that I disagree. What did he say? He said that it's only God that determines who will get born again. If God has determined who will get born again,
everybody should be born again.
Yeah. That kind of, it's amazing that somebody who has done so many years in the Lord still has that. So just like we are saying, people, because they are not well educated, because they don't know this God, they just, because you said because they don't have a relationship with God, that the kind of thing they ought to have, they just listen to this so-called God has said. If you have a relationship with God and somebody comes and says God said, you say that's fine, we are waiting for him to say it to me as well. Is that not what we're doing? Yeah, that's fine. We're just waiting for him to tell me the same thing, and then we know that we are on the same page. In the meantime, let's just put this thing on the shelf, and whenever he says it to me, that's fine, then it will flow. It's a shame that it has happened like that, but you see, it only emphasizes all the more the role of teachers. It's a dying kind of aspect of the fivefold ministry. People do not, they want the prophets. That's the person they want.
Evangelist.
The evangelist, the apostle, all of those things. All of those ones have title. Nobody bears teacher Jabez. You don't hear it. You can hear prophet, you can hear apostle, you can hear evangelist, you can hear pastor. Okay, or even promote yourself to archbishop. But teacher, and so people are, but it is so important so that the people will know that when somebody comes in with that kind of God said, oh really? We are waiting for him to say to me as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, in regards to this, you said something that just struck my heart, and
Okay.
I feel like that is the state of the church right now. And as a father in the land, what can we do? Because the ministry, like Apostle Paul said, he said, we will continually give ourselves to the ministry of the words and prayer. And I feel like these two ministry is something we have undermined in the church. Is there what would be your advice, or what would be your role as a father in the land to this situation whereby people don't place priority on the word of God? People don't place priority on the undiluted word of God.
But you know, because you said prayer will give attention to the ministry of the word and to prayer.
Yes, sir.
You now said that these two things have been, people pray. It applies more to the word than to prayer. People pray. People pray volumes. People pray plenty. Believe me, people really do pray. Is this word that is the problem? I've heard somebody who said, I can pray for 6 hours. Is this reading the Bible that is my problem? Yeah, that's...
What do you now pray?
Is the truth though? People really pray. Is this studying the word, understanding the word through meditation in it, and so that the word can build faith on the inside of you? That is the one that people do not really do to the extent we should be doing. People really pray. In this part of the world, we are already religious. If you go to the market, you will hear, by the grace of God, everybody by the grace of God, Lakbar alone, by the grace of God. You will hear it. We are religious people. People pray. And Adurani or Christianity, people really pray. But this word of God thing is one area that we don't do a good job upon. Well, I think pastors and other leaders should just keep emphasizing it. Just keep emphasizing it and let them bring testimonies from their own lives. How that the word of God is so important. There's an illustration I have concerning this. If you want to start a car, okay, the car, the battery power is good, everything is fine, there's fuel inside it, you just check and zoom, it starts off. Where you see a car that does not have fuel inside it, that's the one that will make, they're the one that will make more noise. That's what happens when people pray plenty. They make a lot more noise, but that's without the fuel. But when you have the fuel of the word of God inside, the noise will be smaller, but the effect will be bigger.
Yes, sir.
It's ready to go. Whereas this one is making so much. That's what happens with people who pray plenty without the word. Okay? Yes, so with such illustrations and such descriptions and all, people by and by will begin to get it. And maybe when they put it to practice on their own as well, you know, and it works for them. Can I tell you just another story? Some years ago, one of our church members brought somebody, not our church member, for counseling. And I counseled the way I know to counsel. So I spoke about the word, you know, and all. According to her, on their way out, she told the person who brought her, so that's all they are going to see, what your pastor is going to say. He didn't even see any vision. He didn't even bring any word from God, you know, and all that. So they went. 3 years later, that same lady came back to see me on her own, without the friend that brought her, without the church member that brought her. Said, sir, 3 years ago, I was here. I had forgotten. I was there. I said, yes, I mentioned the name of the person that brought her. And you gave me counsel. You told me so and so. I didn't like it. On the way, this is what I said to that person. But you know something? I followed that my own way for some time. It didn't work still. And I said, okay, let me try your own way. Sir, I'm back to say that your own way works. And it has become permanent in my life. Do you understand? Yeah. So this word thing, when we have testimonies to share with them, maybe they will take it out.
Thank you so much.